Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. My name's Phil. This is Monday night. This is live every Monday, 7:30 till 8. We get your views, we get your comments in. I guess the big question today, after seeing what Rob Tanner's put on Twitter, what James Maddison's replied to him, what Brendan Rodgers said after the game, are we too good to go down? Do you get the feeling that people are we're too good to go down, don't panic? Fans, don't panic. That tends to be the feeling I'm tending to get a little bit from the club at the moment. Don't panic, fans. We're too good. We should have won on Saturday. We created that many chances. Don't worry. Another day we'll win. Another day we'll win. Are you worried? Join us for the next 30 minutes to get all your views and all your comments in. Are we too good to go down?
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Every Monday we're live, 7:30 till 8. We get your views, we get your comments in. If you're watching this on playback, great. Enjoy the show, enjoy the comments. But do come join us live. That's what it's all about. So that's my question to you guys tonight is, there's two parts to this question is, one, do you think we're too good to go down? We've got enough quality. It's not a problem. Is that the first one? The second part of that question then to you all is it a problem that it feels like the manager and some of the players feel like, don't panic, we created lots of chances against Southampton, we are good, we've got a good team, nothing to see here, not a 6-pointer, not, no doom, no gloom. Or do you think that is a problem or not? Now, listen, we can get everybody's comments in there, so please do get them in. Aggie says, never too good to go down. Of course not. I'm fearing the worst, to be honest now, says Aggie in there. Jamie, get Rodgers out. I know we ran a poll, obviously, after the match. I think about 84.5% of fans were saying it's time to get Rodgers out. Keith here says we're safe as houses, no chance of relegations. Listen, I know there are fans out there who are confident, and Keith, I understand. I know we have quality, and I know we have some good players in there, but I get this slight feeling with some of the comments that you've seen post-match and that is that confidence? Is that the way you want to hear players? Or would you rather hear a little bit from the club coming out saying, look, we're in a battle. Do you want to hear battle cries? Or are you like Keith? We're not. Paul says, no, we're not in a relegation battle. Again, that's fine. Good evening, the councillor. Hope you're well. Get your views in, get your comments in. Casey says we're fudged. I think that's what he's saying there. I can just about put that on screen. Councillor then goes on to say absolutely not too good to go down, but perspective is definitely needed. That's fine in there. Casey says Bournemouth City, talking about Leicester City, Casey, I assume, and West Ham for the drop there. What Casey's saying there, this is the debate we've been having today, is, I feel like Leicester at the moment are too good to go down, but I know we're in a relegation battle. But West Ham fans will be saying the same. West Ham will be saying, look, we've got a good side there. Everton will be saying, look how much money we've spent. We've got a good side there. Leeds will be saying, look, we've got players in there. Wolves are above us, aren't they? Forest are above us. There's a lot of teams in this scrap who will be looking, going, I think we're too good to go down. Neil says we're going down faster than water out of a sink. Chris is saying, have you a supposed shortlist as a replacement for Rodgers? Chris, that's a great question. And do you know what? I actually haven't at the moment. But if you're watching this and want to put in who would you get in, let me know. There's been managers available, Chris, this season, and I am going to go back to Sean Dyche. I think he could have come in and done a job. But listen, Chris, it's not my job to place a new manager in there. I'm not paid millions of pounds to run the football club. I'm just here to give you a bit of my views, but mostly bring you your views in there. Adam says, I think we just need a scrappy win under our belts and should kick on. Adam, I hear what Madders was sort of saying in one of his tweets today. I think we did create enough chances on Saturday, and we probably could have got a win out of that. But like Wayne says here, chances mean nothing if you don't score. I believe the stat is 180 minutes and not a shot on target. That's a problem in there. Goals win games, not chances. Andy's worried, he says here. Reese, hope you're well, Reese. Long time no speak. Says, nobody's too good to go down. I look at our schedule and I'm worried. There's Reese, there's a couple of gaps or a couple of blocks of games where you go, God dear, we've got to win. There's 3 or 4 nice ones where you go, but again, they're against Everton's and West Ham's. You know, West Ham's last game of the season. But there's little blocks where you think, oh, we played 2 or 3, and you think we've got to get something out of those. Joe says we're not too good to go down in there. Paul says we need a winning streak. That's our season, though, isn't it? Win 3, lose 3. In fact, it's probably been win 2, lose 4, and that's been a strange way of doing it in there. Lacking talent down the wings, but should be safe, says Stephen Phillips. Stephen, we should take on Tete. Again, another game there. I'm yet to be really, really impressed. I know the Villa debut was pretty good, but I am, yet to be impressed. Apart from finding the net, we generally played okay, but showed a lack of clinical edge, which comes from confidence loss. Paul, listen, I hear what you're saying there. We did play generally okay, but, and this is the big but, isn't it? It was at Southampton. They're the worst team in the league. They've only got one win at home. So you're sort of saying, yeah, we played okay, but we still lost. Again, we were having the debate in the office today where we were talking about, we're better than Southampton, so, blah, blah, blah. But you go, you've just lost to them, and we lost to them earlier this season. So let's not kid ourselves in where we're at. Scott says here, spoke to a West Ham fan last night, and they didn't think they could go down until after this weekend. It's obviously possible, but I do believe we'll be fine. Doesn't mean I'm not concerned. Scott, that's about where I am. Listen, it's been a while now we've been in the Premier League, and you start to think, I think we've built something here where, we shouldn't be down there. But Casey says Madders needs to knuckle down and keep off social media interactions. He's certainly bit at that one. I don't know if you've seen it in there, but Rob Tanner put in there saying, we are in a relegation battle. We are in a relegation battle. He's not lying with what he said. Rob Tanner was not lying with what he said. But Madders did bite. Scott says it's tiresome watching the same mistakes week in, week out. Life's hard enough without Leicester's lack of management and passion spoiling weekends. Scott, and anybody watching, again, you know me, you're bored. I'm bored. I'm sick to death. You're sick to death of me saying, where's plan B when you're losing 1-0 away at the team bottom in the league? Where is that plan B? It's never there. And yet, right at the death, from that ball in, I think it was a corner free kick. Suter hits the crossbar, but right, okay, he's a big lad. There's plan B. 5 minutes to go. Stick him up top. We've got to get a goal. You've got to do something differently. Imran says 2 Premier games, no shots on target. That's worryingly. Simon, bang average. Yes, I'm afraid at the moment he is bang average. That is all I can say about Tete. Bang average. I hope he gets better. I'm prepared to give him longer. Casey, he's not in the same pile for me as Daka and Sumari yet. Casey says we've been played off the park by Blackburn and had no shots against bottom of the table. Very worrying in there. And again, that's the big question that we're asking here. Are Leicester too good to go down? 2 parts to that. One is, do you think we are too good to go down? We'll get out of this. Don't you panic, sir. But it's the second part of that is I'm slightly more worried that it feels like the club, the manager and some of the players are perhaps believing that we are too good to go down and therefore we're not in a relegation battle. I think sometimes it's perhaps a little bit, you want to see a little bit where you think, hang on, where, I mean, like Andy says here, where is the passion from Rodgers in there? Kiefer has got a big comment in there. I have to climb up here to have a look down. all we do is go round and round in circles. Went to Newcastle in the quarterfinal, and could have had, Yep. Agree with everything Kiefer said there, but there's too much for me to read out. Would love to see Dolan from Blackburn. Looked a good youngster in there. Rogers sucked the life out of the club. Good evening, Jason Mills. Hope you're well. Imran says here, we are too good to go down, but our manager is too bad and deserves to go down, says Imran in there. Keith says, Madison's designer garden is definitely pre. Come on, you've got to finish that off. You can't leave us hanging there. I'm going to get Reedy in a minute. Now, listen, I'm going to bring Reedy in. He went to the match on Saturday. He's a proper fan, unlike me, because I only watched it on telly. But I'm going to get Reedy in because Reedy can give us some balanced view. Now, me and Reedy, we work in the same office together, as you know. And we definitely are on two sides of this screen. So I'm going to bring Reedy in. Reedy, good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Reedy, we spent half the day arguing about football because that's where it's got us, hasn't it?
I'd say so, yes.
But we argue in the nicest way because we're fans and we have different opinions, which is why I want Reedy on here. Are Leicester too good to go down?
I wouldn't say we're too. I wouldn't say we're too good to go down, but it's a situation now where, for me, and I'm not trying to take all the blame away from Rodgers, but Rodgers does what he has to do to make the players play. And then the players have got to show it. And for me, there's so many players on Saturday that just didn't show it. And the likes of Barnes, he just didn't want to do anything productive. There were so many people that I was around me that said that Barnes wasn't doing anything right. And he's not, and I think we agreed that he's not been great the last few months. So it didn't help that we had to play Castagna on the wrong side because obviously Christensen got injured. And again, like someone like FaZe, he said in the media last week that he knows it's such a big game. And for me, I don't think we saw anything near the standard of quality from FaZe in that game. Obviously, we didn't have to see any crunching tackles. We didn't see any, just even if it's a bit dirty tackles, just make sure that ball does not go anywhere near the net. And it just wasn't great. And for me, you've just got to see the passion in the team, and I don't see it at the moment.
I agree. I mean, I agree with a lot of you saying. Joanna says here, we're not good enough to be top half of the table. A comfortable 12th we could handle right now. The players we will lose if we're relegated. The revenue we will lose. Something has to change. 13 games left. Time to turn it around. The councillor says Rodgers' stifling tactics is not helping the players for sure. Which Sean also adds in here, which players aside from Madison have been good this season? Reedy, you obviously, you saw the Rob Tanner tweet and you've seen the Madders tweet. Mm. What's your take on that? Is it concerning?
I feel like I'm looking at the completely opposite side. I think that I want to see someone like Madison or any player in the team come out and say, this is rubbish. Because in my eyes, I feel like they're seeing that there is something there. They just, obviously, it's not producing in a positive way. Obviously, they lost to the game, but even Madders thought they played well against Southampton, and they probably should have got something more out of it if we hit the target. But for me, I'd like to see someone else come out, or even if it's just Madison to say that what you're saying isn't rubbish. Is rubbish, because for me, we're playing brilliant, and it'll be a matter of time before we do get a win. And like you say, obviously, chances don't create wins, obviously, but again, I looked at it earlier, saying that when we played Villa and Spurs, we played really well, and the basics of the team is still there. The same team is basically still there. You come into United, it was always going to be a tough ask to play United and win at Old Trafford. We played brilliant in the first half. We just couldn't get the ball in the net because of a brilliant goalkeeping masterclass in the first half, and then we go and lose it. Then you go and play Arsenal, who are top of the league, and you saw how good they were. You can't compete with them. But I feel like we did well to say that we only lost 1-0. And then you come into the Southampton game. Obviously, you can say about the Blackburn game all you like, but the Southampton game, for me, as much as I feel like we probably should have won because of the position they are in, it was always going to be such a tough game because they are in probably a worse position than us and need the win just as much as us. So it was going to be such a scrappy game, which it was. I just feel like it could have gone either way. Like I say, if we hit some of the shots we had on target, we probably would have won. But because of the situation of the penalty, which we couldn't really help, and it was a penalty, and then their chance that came from, I think, booting the ball up and Barnes missing a header that's come straight back on us, it's kind of put us in an awkward position. But I feel like we do have the games left in the season to get the points to make sure we stay up. But that's just my side of the picture.
Reese says here we were poor against Southampton in there. The councillor saying, yeah, losing Victor Christensen is a huge blow, which it is. It's a shame. It's a topic if you want to get onto, but about the training ground and injuries. Joanna says here the play isn't dire. It's the not winning. We have great players with great talent in there. Casey says Nacho is so annoying. Looks world class 1 minute, then the next game looks doggo. Nacho could have had at least one or two, and to be fair, he looked like the flop he can be some days on Saturday, but he could have had that hat trick, couldn't he?
Yeah, like I say, I was there, and to be honest, I couldn't remember as many chances as we've seen on the highlights because I was so low down, so I couldn't really see much. But the first header, I think, has to go on target. Obviously, it was pretty clear from across that he was first to it, and he had to put it on target, even if the goalkeeper saved it. The free chance that the keeper gave him, that had to go in. I think anyone else, or on a good day, Cole would have scored that. And then his header on his near post just didn't hit the target. And I think, again, on another day, we probably would have won the game with them chances. But then everyone's going to say, but we didn't do it, so we didn't win. So again, like Madders says, on another day we probably would have won it, but on this time around we didn't, and you can't say enough because we didn't get any points from it. So I get what people are saying about not looking in the best position at the moment.
Let's get some comments in. Ben says there we need pace at centre back. Suter and Faz are far too slow. The amount of goals we concede from a simple ball played through them is worrying them. Neil says Rodgers sets Leicester up like Celtic and doesn't realise we are in the Premier League. Andrew says here we've been hot and cold this season. We don't have what it takes to grind out draws. And here's a question for you. Matt says, we went from a team really that believed we could beat anyone, and we tried, to a team that now has zero faith in winning against all 19 teams. And I'm going to push that on slightly really here to say the next 4 fixtures, Chelsea at the King Power, Brentford away, Palace away, Villa at home. And then, to be fair, the next 2, Bournemouth and Man City. Bournemouth at home, Man City away. The trouble is at the moment, like Matt's saying there, Reedy, just take the next one, Chelsea at home. I could go anywhere. We could win that.
Yeah, we could. And I was saying outside earlier to the lads that I honestly, as much as you can put blame onto Rodgers, there's got to be some questions on some of the players. Like on his day, we know Barnes is a brilliant player, but at the moment he's doing nothing to help. You got Iheanacho who does well at times, and then like Saturday doesn't do anything right to get a goal. It's for me, it's a bit part brilliant, bit part not. And then you've got the likes of Cassagna on his day is doing well, but then he loses out to a ball that cost us conceding a goal from a penalty. It's so hard, and I just feel like KDH as well. We know how much passion he's got, but his quality's not there, and I do think Rodgers can do all he can to set the team up, but the players have got to show it as well. And again, I keep saying it, but there's every chance we can beat Chelsea. But it depends how we play. It depends how we play.
we've literally got a split screen here, and this is where me and Reedy end up having these debates, because Neil says here, Reedy, I know you're saying you've got to blame the players, but my sort of logic is you've got 25 players in the squad.
You've got one man.
You've got one manager. Now that one manager, like Neil says here, Rodgers sets the tactics, and he says the players can't play them. But I'm sort of going to twist that on and say Rodgers picks the team, plays the tactics. In the end, he is the manager. He has to carry the can. Jake says here, the players.
I will say quickly before you say anything that the team we're playing now is, I'd say, near enough or better for me than a few years ago when we were in that better position and whatnot. We've got the same sort of side, but maybe either less or better players in the side. Like Ndidi, that back then was brilliant. Now we've got someone like Mendy, who I'd say is just as good at the moment. So it's the same teams there, and I feel like the same tactics are there. I just don't think we're doing it to the best of our ability.
Sure. I mean, Sean says here, who would fight for Rodgers? He slates the players any chance he gets. It feels like there has been just a massive. We play Brendan's bullshit bingo after most matches at the moment to see what excuse he's coming out with, Reedy. 2 years ago, we blamed the pitch, I think it was. That's why we didn't quite get in the Champions League. Let's relay the King Power. Last year, we had a lot of injuries. We've not been able to make signings last summer. Somebody's changed his wash powder at the club training ground. You know.
No, I understand. I understand the.
At some point, you could say, "Do you know what? I got that wrong."
But do you? Again, I feel like it's hard not to. I kind of get the reason why people are blaming Rodgers so much, but in my eyes, it's like he can only say enough excuses because he can't blame the players, because if he's doing that, then he's kind of throwing them under the bus in ways that are like, oh, Barnes is poor today, so that's one reason why we couldn't score, or something like that. Whereas he's got to use any other excuse he has to try and say it, I guess. But I know what you mean. He has some points got to take the blame, and I think when I think was it when we played Forest in the Cup last season, he was saying that we need a refresh and we didn't get it. So he has tried to say that he wants to do something to try and improve it, but I just hope. I think even Elijah said it in the post match that I just don't. I think it's a bit too dangerous to get rid of him at this point. I think we need to wait until after we get to the summer. If we're staying in the Premier League, then maybe make the move. But at the moment, I just think it's too dangerous to make the move.
Okay, so Reedy, I'm going to read you out a stat here. On the 23rd of February 2017, Leicester City sacked Claudio Ranieri. The club were 1 point above the relegation zone with 13 matches remaining. As it stands today, we have 13 matches remaining, and we are 2 points above the relegation zone. So you would argue we are in a slightly better position than when we sacked Claudio Ranieri. But Claudio Ranieri had something in his back pocket, which was called he won the Premier League for us. What's the difference now to them?
This is going to sound absolutely horrible to say, but I don't think Ranieri had the managing ability compared to Rodgers. And that's not me saying that Rodgers is the world's best manager, but I feel like when Ranieri came in, he basically used the same tactics as what we've already did. I don't think he really put his game plan or how he wants to play into the team until the year after we won it. And when we did that, we looked poor. So for me, I feel like Rodgers has got more of a chance of keeping us up than what Ranieri would have.
Reedy, you didn't just say you think Rodgers is a better manager than Claudio Ranieri, did you? You said that, did you, or not? I don't want to put words in your mouth. But...
I did. People are gonna say Ranieri's amazing manager, because of what he did for us. And obviously, yes, he did brilliant. But don't you agree that the way we played? Don't you think the way we played in that Premier League winning season was how we played with Pearson? We did. It was the same sort of style, booting the ball up to Vardy, playing round the back.
Callum says, "What you've been putting in your team, Reedy?" Although not everybody's in there. Managing ability compared to Rodgers. This guy's really don't know what he's on about. Joanna says here, Reedy, will we be relegated? Will it be under Rodgers or will we be safe? Go on, just answer, Joanna.
I don't think we'll be relegated, and I think it will be under Rodgers. I think we'll stay up because I think there's enough games in the season left for us to get the points. We've just got to show it, because if it gets to the point of very dangerous territory, maybe 8 games left to go and we're still 2 points off, then they're going to have to stick something in the line, because I feel like it's a bit stupid to get rid of Rodgers at the moment. I think it is.
Well, you see, Adam agrees with you here, which I don't agree with you, Adam, at all with this, but he says, we'd have won the league that year under anyone. Pearson won us that league. The fight was put into the players by him. I think Pearson was a big part of that, but yeah, I don't think we'd have won it with Nigel Pearson. Wayne says, if Rodgers' man management that good, why are we near the bottom? Chappers, hope you're well, Chappers. We must get Chappers back on here. He says, I really believe we will escape the drop, but my God, we're bloody awful. Relying on teams to be worse is not a good plan. Hope Rodgers has a better one. Has he got a plan B, though, Chappers? I'm not sure he has. And give us a shout. You must get back on here. We will go down. Rodgers will leave, says Big Dave. Ross says, at the moment, we're going down the way we're playing. Really, what pot brownie have you had?
I've come on, mate, to get scavenged by the wolves. I've come on here to get absolutely shafted, but I don't care.
Again, I hate to say it to everybody who's watching, but me and Reedy and Jake and Sam, we were looking through the fixture list, and we've already pulled out that West Ham at the last game of the season. It just could be massive. There's a couple of games at the back end of our last 3 games of the season are not particularly easy. We've got the last 3 is Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, West Ham at home. But we are now already looking at these last 13 games and trying to pick some points out of them, aren't we, Reedy?
Well, yeah, again, most of the ones that we say are winnable are the ones that are near us. And that is obviously going to be the case because they're all the ones at the bottom of the league. Whereas if we're at the top of the league, we'd be saying that these are ones that we should be winning by a mile. But now you're playing a lot of these teams at home. I'd probably be saying you should be winning these games. Even the likes of West Ham, I'm just glad it's at home. Because if it gets down to that, then I'm glad it's home, not away. But yeah, there's many games in there that I can see us winning. But like you say, we've only won 8 all season, is it? So how are we expected to win the next 6 or 7 out of 13? I know what it is, but if it gets to the dire stages of the season, you've got to.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Listen, just before we let you go, Reedy, obviously we've got an away fan preview this week with Tom. We've got your match preview with Sam. Let's just get a little bit of score predictions in for Saturday against Chelsea. Is Fofana going to score the winner for them?
No, I think we're going to win 1-0.
1-0. Who's scoring that goal? Nacho.
No, I'm gonna give it to Daka. I think he's gonna come on in the last minutes and score a winner. I
bet you tenner Daka doesn't score the winner.
Well, that's obviously not the greatest of bets. I'm just saying a point. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, all right. Put your money where your mouth is. That's what I reckon. Ross says here, Reedy, if we win 1-0, then he'll buy you a pint. Fofana will have a knee injury. Sadly, don't see 3 worse teams than us right now. Rodgers leaves us if we get relegated, says Dino, Daka to score is this guy saying things just to wind us all up. I kid you not, Matt. We have to work with Reedy all day long, and it's every now and then you just have to like walk away from him. Bless him. No, you're not. You're a proper. Love getting you on and love having a chat with you. Vestergaard from the bench says Big Dave. Ross says be realistic. It's not FIFA. It's real life. Daka, listen. It's been great to get you on, Reedy. I love Reedy's positivity.
I try my best, I try my best.
Taking that tenner off you. Who knows Saturday? That's the trouble, isn't it, Reedy?
Who knows, mate? Who knows? Chelsea are that bad.
But it's big. Know. It's big because Saturday, if we don't pick up 3 points and the results go against us, next Monday night, live here on Leicester Fan TV, we could be talking and we could be in the relegation spot.
Could be.
We'll chat again then. Could be. Could not be. That's the way. All right. Cheers, Reedy. See you later. He's a good lad. Listen, he's just positive, and that's what you need sometimes, isn't it? But there's times where does positivity take you too far, and sometimes you've just got to think maybe we need to change things. I just don't know. Joanna's gone for a 1-1 draw on Saturday. You'd probably argue that's quite good for us at the moment. Ross says, how about if you win 1-0, you shave your head like the Goldilocks challenge? He's not going to do that for you, Ross. Anyway, listen, thanks for everybody for getting your views in, for getting your comments in. Don't forget, join Tom later this week with the Away Fan Show. Reedy and Sam will be doing a match preview, and then the match is on Saturday, of course, at 3 o'clock kickoff, and then Sunday morning, the famous Aftermath show with Jamie. We'll be doing a watch along as ever with Elijah and Michael on Saturday. So get your views in live to them, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheers all.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.